Hello, everyone. My name is Zach Brown, and I'm a solutions architect here at IP Fabric. And I'm here to talk to you today about IP Fabric's digital twin capabilities. In today's hybrid multi-vendor network environments, even the smallest change can trigger massive outages, compliance violations, or worse, downtime. That's why leading enterprises trust IP Fabric, the automated network assurance platform, to build a digital twin of their entire network, providing deep visibility, safe planning, continuous validation, all at scale. In this video, we'll show you how our digital twin simulation capabilities solve 5 critical challenges faced by modern enterprises and operations teams, and how you can move from a reactive to a proactive approach with confidence. So first, we're going to talk about our first area, which is multi-vendor integration. So here at IP Fabric discovers and builds topologies for heterogeneous network environments, all mapped to our interface, making switching between tools and different user interfaces unnecessary. And it all starts with IP Fabric's discovery process. So here on the screen, I have pulled up a snippet of our discovery process, and here's a quick glimpse of that discovery process. So we have a list of devices that IP Fabric discovered. And if you take a peek here, all different kinds: Juniper, Arista, AWS, Cisco. So very diverse, heterogeneous environments. Also, we have the device count, as well as how long IP Fabric took to discover, in my case, these 93 devices. So very robust snapshotting and discovery process. Now, one of the residuals of this discovery process is IP Fabric's full device inventory. So with IP Fabric's digital twin capabilities, IP Fabric automatically discovers and normalizes inventory data so that it's easily digestible in our tables. So you can simulate your entire network, regardless of vendor, and have the intelligence of exactly what is in your infrastructure. So as I scroll over here, you can see I have my full device inventory, as well as which platform, operating systems, and versions I'm using. So very robust, and IP Fabric is once again meant to integrate into multi-vendor environments. Next, we're going to talk about network state modeling, network migration planning, and change impact analysis. So IP Fabric takes snapshots of your live network, allowing you to model, visualize, and analyze the state of your infrastructure at any point in time. Need to validate your routing behavior from last month or simulate a new routing protocol? Done. This is your live network, frozen in time, available on demand. So once that discovery snapshot has completed, which we talked about earlier, we have the network devices discovered and full device inventory compiled. IP Fabric then visualizes this with our dynamic diagrams. With these diagrams, you can run end-to-end path simulation to get a device by device analysis of the packet logic and exactly how it's moving from source to destination. So here, as I'm pulling up my path simulation feature, you may notice I have a host in one of my sites, and I am simulating the traffic flow to a remote site here in Prague. So as I click through my platform and I click my first device, I have my full packet logic as well as my decision-making table showing how I'm moving from source to destination. Now, if you take a look at this path, I have my first layers 3 switch here, and now you can see IP Fabric is now taking a look at the routing and ARP tables since we're moving on up that network stack. Also, as I click on my firewall, you notice it's illuminated in red, showing me that something is blocking my traffic. So I have my access control policy here, and if I click, I can see the exact access control entry that's blocking that traffic, as well as further down the path, I have a firewall here in green. If I right click and click explore, I'm able to see that that access control policy is allowing my traffic. Also, to further analyze our network model, IP Fabric allows you to compare changes in the network, spotting when anything changes instantly. So as I go and switch to my next snapshot here, I'm able to see exactly how my infrastructure has changed between two snapshots. So what's red is what was previously in the infrastructure, and green is how my infrastructure has changed over time. So IP Fabric really helps you visualize those changes, really cutting down that need time to remediation if you have any problems with your network. So with IP Fabric, engineers can compare those snapshots before and after events or changes to the network to be able to spot changes instantly. So planning a migration, moving to SD-WAN or the cloud, IP Fabric's digital twin simulation simulates those traffic paths, validates segments, and ensures nothing breaks before ever touching one single cable. So you're able to test your migration logic safely, accurately, and have a consistent approach to managing your network. With IP Fabric, you can do comprehensive dependency analysis to accelerate that migration process and reduce project timeline and risk, even in hybrid networks. So in our path simulation feature, we even have the opportunity to get more granular with what we test, even controlling what ports as well as what IP addresses we can test, really giving us the peace of mind that when we make changes to an access control list, that nothing breaks when we go to production. A healthcare provider that IP Fabrics work with, Firewalls team, needed to expand the subnet and open ports for a new application. Using IP Fabric, they simulated the change and discovered that it exposed internal services to the internet, which would have been a huge HIPAA violation and opened them up to additional fines. Now, as I move into our next point, configuration compliance and validation, here is our overview dashboard with a mix of IP Fabric custom widgets and out-of-box intent checks built for inventory, security, posture, compliance, as well as configuration management. So an IP Fabric, a telecommunications provider, use IP Fabric to enforce PCI DSS compliance across hundreds of routers. Within minutes with IP Fabric, they were able to discover 30 plus devices with Telnet and legacy SNMP and were able to close the gap all before their audits. Here with IP Fabric's intent checks, we have the ability to see, do I in my environment have any devices with Telnet enabled? So we're able to close those gaps and further fortify our network with IP Fabric's digital twin capabilities. So IP Fabric doesn't just simulate behavior, it also continually audits every device config against best practices, regulatory compliance policies, and your own intent. You'll know when compliance is broken automatically with IP Fabric. Also, from the IP Fabric interface at your fingertips, you have all your network devices running configurations, so you can compare these over time. As soon as changes happen, outages occur, or traffic is flowing from a different path, you can see what changed from a configuration standpoint, in addition to those architectural changes as we discussed earlier. So as a demonstration of that, I am just clicking two host names in my environment and comparing the configurations from two different points in times. So in green, you can see what has changed. In red, you can see what's removed between those two configurations. So easily you're able to validate your configurations and get ahead of any potential configuration drift. So with IP Fabric's digital twin simulation, your team can stop firefighting and start proactively managing network health, risk, and performance. Whether you're planning migrations, validating changes, or ensuring compliance, you'll always know before it breaks. And for enterprise leaders, It means faster project delivery, fewer outages, stronger compliance, and complete network transparently without the guesswork. You're ready to see it in your environment? Book a demo or start a free trial at ipfabric.io. Thank you for your time.